As of 2 months ago, my husband and I had $43,500 in credit card debt. Yeah, you heard that right. How does that happen? 2 months ago, I cried out to the Lord, asking for wisdom, asking him to help us to pay this off, telling him that I am willing to do what we need to do to get out of this hole that we have dug ourselves into. And he began to give me steps to take to do that. And I kid you not, y'all, over the last 2 months, I have actually seen that number go down. I've been tracking this for the last year. And as of 2 months ago, we had more debt 2 months ago than we did a year ago. And all of our cards have had 0% interest. We've been paying the minimum payments, which is a huge chunk, which means that it should have been going down over the last year. But instead, it's gotten higher. But since I started implementing the steps that the Lord was giving me 2 months ago, we've actually been seeing that go down. And then a couple days ago, I felt this call by the Lord to start posting this debt payoff journey online to inspire hope. Because right now, times are really hard. And I keep hearing left and right that people aren't even able to afford groceries. People are just drowning in debt. People don't know what to do. And so by sharing my story of what the Lord has been teaching us and what we are doing, I'm hoping that this will inspire hope in your situation, that no matter how bad it looks, if you follow him and you do what it is that he's asking you to do, if you're willing to have your mindsets changed, you can get out of this hole that you are into. If you have been in debt and you have gotten out of it, I'm totally teachable. Please post it in the comments, like what you have done that has helped you. If you're not in debt, you're welcome here to spectate. And if you're ready to be able to steward an abundant life, follow along, because I'm going to the promised land. I don't want to continue going in cycles like this, like the Israelites did for 40 years. I want to eventually get to the promised land.
I have been financially not doing great. I am a nurse. Even though I am a nurse and I make good money, I don't have money, which is the sad part because of the choices that I've made still currently and the choices that I've made like previously, like from a couple of years. I am in credit card debt. And it's this unhealthy cycle that I have been putting myself into. And this just relationship with money has just never been something that I was talked about. Lifestyle creep is definitely a thing. And especially when you are trying to make a brand for yourself, when you're aspiring to do something that you want to do, and content creation has been something that I've always wanted to do. Being a YouTuber has always been something I want to do. I've always just wanted to be on camera. I've always just wanted to make a name for myself, whether it be like through content creation, being a YouTuber, being an entrepreneur, like whatever it may be. I always felt like I was meant to do something other than nursing. And so I think for years I have been continuously like, going with the trends and like, buying whatever everyone else buys so that like I can post about it and like, be seen. But then I get caught up with imposter syndrome of not being enough. In order for me to become someone, I guess I was influenced by everyone else around me. So if I bought the next best thing, or if I like looked a certain way by buying these clothes, then I was gonna make an image, a brand for myself. And that turned into like so many like dumb purchases like along the way that I'm like literally paying for now. And don't get me wrong, I have been trying to get myself together when it comes to my finances, because obviously like I have money to pay my bills. I have money to like pay down the minimums on my credit cards. But a lot of the times I don't take into account like, money like for myself and money to, just enjoy life. And most of the time, like I'm struggling to even do that. So I think I've reached my breaking point. Enough is enough. Like living paycheck to paycheck, living with like the credit card debt and like the afterpays and everything, like I'm done. Like I'm so done. I want to be financially free. Like I don't want to have to worry about, like, you know, if I'm going to be able to eat. I just don't want to be in this cycle anymore, because it's like, I want to travel. I want to buy a house. I want to get married. Like, all of these things, like, it's just like, it's not possible until I take this step of paying off my debt, and not just paying off my debt, but like being financially literate and just understanding. You can't always have your wants. You have to prioritize like your needs. And sometimes like I rationalize like my needs, my wants, to make them seem like their needs. And I just need to get out of this toxic like mindset. Like, it sucks. And I'm not making this an excuse, but I guess like impulsivity and like shopping addiction is part of ADHD. And sometimes I hate it. Like, sometimes I like get mad at myself for having this ADHD, and is the reason why I'm in this situation. But at the same time, it's like, I need to remember, what can I do now to just like get myself out of this hole. So the reason I'm crying on the internet is to show people that, like, seriously, like, do not, like, I understand that, you know, I'm trying to be an influencer, I'm trying to be a content creator, and that goes with like promoting products, but like, literally live within your means and only buy like if you have the money for it. Stop klarning, stop affirming, stop afterpaying, like, stop just swiping the credit card, because like, yeah, it may be fun like in the moment, but literally you will regret it if that stuff like just racks up, and it's like years down the line and you're still paying for that purse that you bought like 4 years ago. Life is too freaking short for us to be paying money on stuff that we bought like a couple years ago. Life is too short for us to be paying for materialistic things. Instead, we should be paying for experiences, for like adventures and whatever it may be, like for new life like chapters. And I don't know, buying the next best thing is not worth your mental health. Buying the next best thing is not worth the emotional and financial burden that you're going to experience if you can't pay it off right away. If you're watching this and you're also in the same boat, like, you are not alone. This stuff is hard to navigate, and not a lot of people like talk about the realness about being in credit card debt, or like even student loans. Like, I don't even want to think about like the student loans that I have, and like my car loan. Like, that's another thing in itself. But if you're watching this all the way through, the one thing that I can say is that if you're going into 2025 with debt, specifically credit card debt, please make a plan to like get out of it, because I know I am, because I can't do it anymore. It's not cute anymore to just put it on the credit card, or like, I'll do some installment payments. It's not cute anymore. You're going to continue these habits, and it's going to take you so much longer to, one, pay for it, but two, unlearn those habits of impulse spending.
This is the part that pisses me off, because I did not take out $80,000 in student loans, not even close to that. And so I'm over here, like, I have no issue. I have zero issue. This is a simulated situation, and so they're guesstimating what I should owe. But like, I don't have any issue with paying for all of my education. I will pay for it. I will pay for it over the next 10 to 20 years. I don't care. I will pay for it. I have an issue with paying $20,000 to $30,000 of interest, or more than that. It's going to be more than that, because it might take me more than 10 years to pay this off. And so, like, genuinely, no issue whatsoever. I'll pay the 60 grand. I will pay it. I don't want to pay 30 more in interest. Like, I'm not, like, why do you get $30,000 for loaning me money? What are you doing that earns that? Like, there's no work being done that earns $30,000 over 10 years. Nobody's doing that job. So why do I have to pay that? Where does that money go?
Okay, I'm starting this TikTok page because I am in a lot of debt and I don't want to be in debt anymore. I hate it so much. It makes me feel awful about myself. It's really having an impact on my mental health, and I feel like it's really holding me back, like in life now, and I want to do something about it desperately. So I thought, why not start this page, and I can use this as a space to sort of track and document sort of my steps to try and get myself out of debt. I've always been quite a money savvy person. My friends and family, I think, would consider me to be pretty good with my money. So it's almost ironic that I've got myself in this position. Unfortunately, just due to various things over the last couple of years, I've got myself into a really sticky situation, and I'm ready to do something about it, and I need to do something about it. I'm hoping to move out at some point this year, but currently with my debt as it is, it's just not a possibility. Currently my repayments are best part of £500 a month, so that hugely takes a chunk out of my monthly income, and obviously having too much debt against your name is just not good. So I really want to try and reduce my repayment charges and just my general debt figure. So that's the plan for this year, and I want to use this space to document sort of me doing that, and just kind of be really transparent, and also just have like somewhere for myself to look back on and go, okay, I'm clearly spending too much here, and track what I'm spending and also what I'm saving, because if there's ways that I can like try and save some money or make some extra money, then I really want to do that and sort myself out. Like, it is time. I'm sick and tired of it, and it's time to do something about it. So I'm going to try do that now.
I graduated with approximately $500,000 worth of student loan debt. These are my thoughts on the skyrocketing monthly payments. When I was in school, we actually had like a couple-hour seminar on student loan debt and how you can go around repaying it. It could either be through working for a nonprofit where you make way less money, but at the time they had promised that the loans would be forgiven after 10 years. The other way was to do income-based repayment. And during the seminar at my school, I raised a lot of concern. I told people around me, and I also asked the professors, like, hey, the administration changes every 4 years. How are you guaranteeing that this works for people in the future? And honestly, I did not believe it at all. I was very lucky that I was one of the few that was not duped, but with that much student loan, I knew I needed an action plan. I decided to just do my own plan, and so I decided to move to a state that had no state income tax, and I worked my butt off. So I would work around 12 to 16 hours, 5 days a week, and then on the weekends, I would go and substitute into other clinics and work there. So essentially, I was working 6 to 7 days a week, most weeks the first couple years that I graduated. And this is not ideal for everybody. But in my mind, I had a burdensome amount of debt that I knew I had to repay. And so I worked my butt off to get a lot of that paid down in the first 2 years alone. I had no work-life balance. It was actually very stressful and very horrible. But in my mind, I had taken out these student loans, and so I needed to repay them, and I didn't feel comfortable or confident relying on the government or anybody else to like save me from my own student loans. A lot of people are coerced into taking out high student loans without really understanding the implications of it, and that's something that needs to be addressed. Institutions also need to be held more accountable. Like, there is no reason why a school should be charging hundreds of thousands of dollars to get through and start your career.